I call the Leader of Opposition for your first question, please.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question without notice is to the Premier. Premier, I've ruled out any deals or coalition with One Nation. Sorry.
Thank you, members. The Leader of Opposition has the call. Call the Leader of Opposition.
My question without notice is to the Premier. Premier, I've ruled out any deals or coalition with One Nation. I table...
Members, I know the Leader of Opposition's comments may be provocative, but no. The rules are we need to hear it in silence, and I will take action if I can't hear it and if we don't have proper silence. No. Thank you, members. I call the Leader of Opposition.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question without notice is to the Premier. Premier, I've ruled out any deals or coalition with One Nation.
No. Minister for Education. Minister for Education, you're warned understanding Order 253A. I'll take appropriate action if it continues against anyone else. The Leader of Opposition has the call. I call the Leader of Opposition.
Premier, I have ruled out any deals or coalition with One Nation. I table a letter to the editor of the Bundaberg Newsmail, written by the member for Bundaberg, and I quote, I'm also more than happy to work with Dr Truscott when we have common ground. While the Premier is in Wide Bay next week, will she be discussing the member for Bundaberg's proposed policy alliance and deal with One Nation?
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I can sense the enthusiasm. Call the Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the Leader of the Opposition for the question because I won't believe the Leader of the Opposition until I see the stat deck, Mr. Speaker. Until I see...
One moment, members. Can I just remind members that on Standing Order 133, a question must relate to the public affairs with which the Minister is connected or responsible for. I call the Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And when it comes to before the election and after the election, there will be no deals with One Nation by this side of the government, Mr. Speaker. On that side of the House, Mr. Speaker, where is the stat deck? Where is the stat deck? Now, Mr. Speaker, let's recap. Now it's about your leadership.
Order. All right, we've all heard the question. No, members, we've all heard the question. The Premier now has the call to answer it. We've had enough frivolity. Premier, you have the call.
Speaker.
No, Member Verkelide. Member Verkelide.
Cannot keep a position from breakfast radio to morning tea. From breakfast radio to morning tea, Mr. Speaker. Oh, he'll have to wait until the election's called. He'll have to, look at the candidates, look at a seat-by-seat basis. That's what the Leader of the Opposition says on breakfast radio. Then at morning tea time, he comes in here, Mr. Speaker, professes something. But where's the evidence, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence?
All right, members, please. I call the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, he changes his position from breakfast radio to morning tea, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, until Queenslanders see that statutory declaration, as far as I'm concerned, this Leader of the Opposition will do a deal with the member for Budroom, Mr. Speaker. They will do a deal with One Nation, Mr. Speaker.
Pause the clock. Members, I'm about to make rulings. There are a number of members. Their interjections are designed to disrupt the Premier in her answer to the question. I'd urge members to consider their behaviour. I call the Premier. Have the call.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And why wouldn't shouldn't they do a deal with One Nation? Because most of the One Nation candidates are former LNP members, Mr. Speaker. They're former LNP members. They're former LNP members, Mr. Speaker. They're like this. They're like this, Mr. Speaker. They're like this. They're like Peter
Order.
God.
Thank you, Member for Quana. Premier has the call.
Mr. Speaker, we will not believe anything until we see that statutory declaration by the Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Speaker. Until we see that statutory declaration, no one believes Tim Nicholls. No one believes Tim Nicholls. No one believes the member for Clayfield, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to debate this question any time with the Leader of the Opposition because we know that they want to try and sneak into power. They want to try and sneak into power by doing a dodgy preference deal with One Nation, Mr. Speaker. And I say very clearly, we will do no deals with One Nation. No deals.
All right. Members, I know we're all excited, but this is the final time I'm going to say the words that if I find members' interjections are designed to disrupt the minister's answer to the question, I will take the appropriate action. So we'll all move on, I think. Leave opposition for your